Hi guys, Roxanne from Tiny Home Living here. Just going to do a bit of an update. Today is June 13th. Beautiful sunny day. It hasn't rained for a day or two now, so the garden is going absolutely nuts. Really pleased with almost all the rows have something sprouting up. But before I get started with the tour today, just want to ask everybody to like and subscribe to our videos. Ring the notification bell so you know when we're loading another one up, and share this video with your family and friends. That'll help us out a lot getting this channel started. Now today I'm just going to show the garden and the fruit trees. We're actually going to spend the afternoon getting the tables and chicken plucker and everything set up to process the meat chickens tomorrow. The neighbors were kind enough to offer to help us, but we've only got, I think, about 23 birds left. So I think we should be okay to do them on our own, and then once they're in the freezer, we're going to order some more right away. We did manage to find some bags to put them in, which was actually kind of difficult. Let the girls at the UFA store know where we got them, so they might actually carry them, and that will help us out too. But before I get started, like and subscribe, share these videos with your family and friends if you like what we're doing here, and hit that notification bell so you know when we're loading another video for you. I'm going to try, once I get into a routine, doing it twice a week and see how that goes. But of course, just let me know, and of course any comments or advice you have, that would be much appreciated. Gotta go chase the little dog out of the garbage right now. Every time we put some garbage in the fire pit, she goes to try and get into it. Tears it all apart. So anyway, let's go out and have a little tour of the garden and see how things are going. Pretty pleased so far. The neighbors have come to visit, staring. It's so funny, they spook so easily. This one guy is funny. He has a mark on his forehead. It looks like a heart. But they're hilarious. They just stand there and stare, and then one little movement will spook them. But pretty awesome neighbors. They don't bother us. And I'm going to leave this area around the compost, let the brush stay, because it kind of hides that. Some of the Alberta roses are blooming, and like I say, I don't mind having some of them, but this was absolutely overrun with them. Funny. The cows are funny. The chickens are funny. Hey, Rusty. Hey, Rusty. Yeah, you call him and he comes right over because he thinks he's going to get some clover fed to him, don't you? Where's the clover? Hmm? Yeah. Now, the only thing so far that I see sprouting up in this supposed potato patch is grass. So, like I say, this is going to be an experiment. We did get all this hay put down last year, which is supposedly the way to do it, but anyway, don't see much coming up yet. Maybe it's too soon. Now these little trees, like I say, I thought were all dead, so I'm really, really happy about this. There are a few that are dead, but imagine, like, I actually thought this thing was dead, and look how much new growth we got on here. It's just amazing. Really happy with that, because I really did think that, I mean, that was a lot of trees planting, and I thought we were going to have to replace them, so. You can actually see that I think the tomatoes grow an inch every day. It's just crazy. But you can see this, I believe, is a row of beans. And you can see how big some of the plants are already. This, you can see the beets coming up. So pretty happy with that. This row ends about half, the beets end about halfway because that's where I was going to put the turnips. So we're going to put holes in here, and I'm going to bring the strawberries out of the greenhouse and put them into the end of this row. They're not doing that great in the greenhouse. I think it's too hot. So we're going to bring them out here. And you can see there are some plants, tiny ones starting in there. The lettuce row, might have put a few too many lettuce seeds in some of the spots, but this again is the garlic that was in my fridge. There were a couple of bulbs of organic garlic that had started to sprout, so I thought, well, I'm going to use them. And then I think it switches, these ones were the seed garlic, but they're coming up pretty much in every spot. So I'm really happy with that. Love garlic. And again, it's one of the things that's easier to save. Now this one, you can see how the seed is sort of off to the side, so we are having to check these. The beans are doing absolutely awesome in this row. Beans or peas, I can't remember. We haven't marked out at the end, but... And then this row is the onions. So you can see, might have got a little carried away in that one, I don't know. And then this one here is just starting to poke through. So big difference between that one and that one, but at least they're poking through. And then you switch to these ones, and you can see, you see how this one, it's sort of underneath the cover. And again, maybe we didn't make these holes quite big enough. Another lesson learned, that will be. But most of them are finding their way out. And this is another row of beans over here. We did yellow, a row of yellow beans. Again, you can see something off to the side there. A row of yellow beans and a row of green beans, because again, they're so easy to save. Just blanch them and freeze them. So again, some of them are really coming out. I don't know if maybe some of the seeds didn't take. Oh, there's another one that's underneath. There you go. So, have to check these pretty carefully, because some of them simply didn't come out from underneath the ground cover, and others are just doing awesome. This whole row, and then the whole row of, oh, look at that. It must have been a mouse or something that pulled the seed onion right out of there. So, like I say, the beans are doing awesome. And really happy with the garden. Like, you can look across it now and see stuff coming up everywhere. So that's great. The chickens are happy. Got them a cabbage to peck at. We saw a video that said they like that, and they don't even bother with it. They don't seem to be coming out here today. Maybe it's too hot in the sun. They seem to be sticking to the shaded and sheltered area there. So that's fine. These guys are basically about 12 weeks old now, so pretty big chickens. And like I say, I can't remember the count on them, but they are going into the freezer tomorrow. Sorry, Christine. My friend Christine down in Oklahoma doesn't like to think about the chickens going in the freezer. But sorry, we're gonna call you chicken dinner, chicken dinner, chicken dinner tomorrow. Big difference in sizes. Kind of amazing, the differences. Got quite a few. We have gotten quite a few strawberries off of here, and you know, they're continuing to produce, but And the plants seem healthy, especially this one, but they're just not doing that great, so we are going to transfer them outside. And this cayenne pepper plant that I got for $6 at the grocery store, it's just loaded with peppers. So I saw a video where a guy had them all on a string and had them up to dry, and you can see this is going to produce a ton of peppers. And then I think what I'm going to do is put these little tiny pepper plants in the barrel that I take the strawberries out of and keep them in here. I just don't think they're going to do that great outside. And unfortunately my heirloom tomato seeds, none of them have sprouted. So that's disappointing. That was my first attempt at seed saving, and obviously not successful. So, but I am going to get some water for these plants today. They are bone dry. It's so hot in here. So again, we've got another change of plans. So I'm going to plant them in one of the tubs in here, maybe two. I've taken some tubs out of here to put the strawberries in. I'm going to leave that pepper in there. I've put the little thyme in there that was in these things. I put the other 3 little pepper plants in there. So I think I'm going to put the onions in here and just see what happens. And the rest of the seed onions we've just decided to put in the end row where we were going to put the strawberries. We're not putting the strawberries there now. Everything's changed in the last hour. So what I'm going to do, I'm saving these 2 yellow onions that have started to root, and I've sorted through and gotten these ones that some of them have really big roots on them. So I'm going to plant those in the tubs and just see what happens. So what we're doing is putting these tubs from the greenhouse out here. So I left strawberries in some of them. I can put tomato cages for the strawberries to climb on. And the rest of them that I took out of the 2 tubs are going to go in here because we have 3 bags of this dirt. And it's such awesome dirt, so we're just going to leave them out here like raised beds. That way if we decide to move them someplace else and don't want them here, then we can easily move them. And we can get around this with the mower and just water them when we water the other stuff. So that's the plan now. Again, change our minds every 5. I can't tell if the light's on when I'm outside in the sun. So that change of plans again. I'm going to put the rest of the strawberries from the 2 tubs into this big bin. Again, we've got all these bins and they're just terrible. They crack and split. The bottoms crack, the lids crack, and so really what are you going to do with them other than we had them stacked up, so we're going to use them for raised beds. And I have 1 more of those white barrels that I can cut in half to make 2 more tubs for the greenhouse in the fall if I want to. I might try again to keep some herbs in here, but they were on the ground last year, and I think that there was no hope of saving them with them being on the ground. With these tubs and so much more dirt in them, and plus them being on skids off the ground, I think there might be some hope for them. So that's the plan now. We're going to finish this up. I'm going to put some of these onions that have started to root in the tubs just to see what happens, because there's, you know, virtually no work involved. And then that row that we ended up with 1/2 row not used, we're going to put the rest of the seed onions in there. I don't think it's too late because, I mean, everything, the garden's going crazy. We'll get that done and then water it tonight after supper when there's no wind and it's nice and cool. We always do the watering then because it is nice and cool. It doesn't all evaporate. So that's the plan for this afternoon. Well, until we change the plans again. So basically I have more raised beds out here now. And like I said, if we end up wanting to move them, I love raised beds anyway. I have for a long time. And the nice thing about watering all these plants is that we're watering them with raw water. I didn't like watering my plants in the city with city water, treated water. So this tree, I think I'm going to try when the sales come on to get another cherry tree, because I think it's going to take quite a few years before we actually get enough cherries to even make a pie. So that'll be 3 cherry trees, and I think if we get 3 different species, that'll be good. So the strawberries are all outside now, and I put those red onions in the 2 bins that I left in the greenhouse, and I think we're going to go do some holes in that last half a row in the garden and put some more seed onions out there. Again, I like the things, you know, we're just beginners at this, and I'm trying to plant the stuff that's easy to save, you know, in a root cellar, cold area. And you know, the herbs, you can always dry them and have lots of herbs saved. So I put the basil in here. I've got the thyme in this little pot, and now I've got the red onions in these 2 pots. And that, yeah, that was the little pepper plants, bell peppers, I think. So I'm just going to leave the peppers in here. I think they can take the heat. Again, this is the little shoot that was off that really big apple tree from last year. And I thought it died over the winter, but it didn't. So I'm really happy about that. I mean, it'll take years, but I don't really care. This is our strawberry harvest for today. So that's it for now. I'm absolutely sweltering. Can't take the heat. And so I'm gonna go out, get Chris to burn those holes in the ground cloth and get those onions planted in the garden, and I think that's gonna be it for today. So the herbs are doing just awesome, and I haven't watered these. They got rain the other day, of course, but I'm gonna make some cauliflower keto soup recipe tomorrow and put fresh thyme in it. Last time I made it, I didn't have fresh thyme to put in it, so that's going to be awesome to do that. And like I say, get some Alfredo sauce made with fresh thyme in it. So, can't have too many red bars. Forgot the red bar out here. This area looks awesome now that I got this mowed. And this little fruit tree, the cherry, the miniature cherry, the leaves look awesome, but what the heck is that thing on there? That doesn't look like something I want on my fruit tree. You can see where some of the leaves are starting to get eaten, but that thing there doesn't look like I want it living on the fruit tree. If anybody knows what that is and how to get rid of it, sure would appreciate the advice. These trees are looking so awesome. But again, something is eating the leaves. That happened last year, although they did still produce some really nice sized apples. Lots of new leaves on these too, and still producing new leaves, so that's great. This was the mangiest looking of the apple trees, and it's not too bad, and they're all high up, so that's good. And then of course this one here is the one that was so loaded with apples, but something's definitely eating these leaves. I have looked up some recipes for sprays, so I'm really hoping that I can get ahead of that. This rhubarb I might end up pulling it and putting it in the freezer. I took 4 really big stalks from that one. These ones I'm not going to harvest this year. That one there kind of just died. I don't know. I might have done something to it with the snipper. I'm not sure. And These gooseberry plants, you can see that little branch got broken. So this one here, I think, ouch, 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 ouch. Those are massive thorns on those things. I don't see any fruit on this little one that has the red berries. But the blueberry plants are producing blueberries. They're not very big plants, but it looks like a little baby bee. Still getting new leaves on these, new growth. So happy about that. These two are the ones that got burnt just because they were sitting right beside the sea container. They heat off the wall. So just be careful with that. This one too got burnt just from being close to the wall of the sea container. The thermometer on the outside registers over 50 degrees Celsius when the sun's shining on that side of the tiny house. So it gets super, super hot. And I shouldn't have put the plants right up against the wall. Now the leaves on this tree look super healthy as well. I think we're going to have to take these cages off here one day, and I'll come through with the DR and cut all this stuff down. But I can't do that by myself. So anyway. So everything's looking really awesome. Look at the neighbors are following me. They're very curious. That's so funny. Another one of the little trees. Just can't believe how healthy they are. We're hoping to go this week and get some more trees. Gotta get that done. It's really kind of late in the year to be transplanting trees. What do you think, guys? They're such chickens. Yeah. You're acting like chickens, not big, strong cattle. My goodness, look at the steak. Alberta beef. Yummy. Wow. I think the folks that brought these here, we were talking to them, they have something like 840 head in 3 different pastures. So, what do you think, guys? You're not as chicken as you were. Boo. Boo? Well, I should go and help Chris get the tables and everything set up. Hammock is looking good, waiting for me. Yeah, just moving the hammock scared them. You can see how close the hammock is right here at the property line in the tree line. So these literally are the next door neighbors right here. We'll call them beef dinner, beef dinner, beef dinner. Yeah, we're talking about you. So, Chris has pretty much got everything set up here. This was a stainless steel table that I used in my last home, and before that it was my bake shop. So this is really close to the compost here. We're gonna put the ice in here, but I also froze 4-liter milk jugs with water in them so that they're ice blocks. Like I say, this is where our compost is. The chicken feathers and everything are going to go in the composter. So we've got everything pretty much set up here, and then we're more in the shade than out in the hot sun, which is what I want. I don't want to be processing chickens in the hot sun. So got this all in here, and we'll probably take the chicken guts to the dump rather than leave them here. So we're kind of set up for tomorrow. I'm going to clean the cooler out with some dish soap and then go water the herbs. I'm going to try and keep this cleared out now with the string trimmer and just let the branches and everything compost down, because I simply cannot rake this stuff up. It's just too much work. So we'll just try and keep the grass down like this, and we're thinking about putting a couple of the nice lawn chairs in here too, because with the shade and the grass cut down is just a nice place to sit when it gets super hot. And like I said, the cows just don't bother us. Some people, like the people that brought the cattle here, they said, we hope they don't bother you. Nope, not at all. The smell, whatever, I don't even notice anything like that, so just part of living in the country. Anyhow, might end up getting some more apple trees at the end of the season when they go on sale. But it is so cool and so beautiful in here when the wind is blowing like this and you're in the shade out of the heat. So it's awesome. I see Chris left one raspberry plant out there that he didn't chop down because it was a nice big one, healthy looking. And the hill over there, the farthest hill on the other side of the property line, has a lot of raspberry canes too. And we are going to go out and pick and choose here and chop down some of these bush things that are just taking up space. And we're going to try and stake out where we want to put the dugout. So if we end up getting ducks or goats or a cow, it would be nice to have the water there at the dugout. So just one more thing to do, and like I say, this closest hill here could end up being a root cellar and a underground greenhouse. Just because I think that would be an awesome thing to do, an awesome project. I do want to, before I even think about doing something like that though, I do want to get that outdoor wood burning stove made. It was a Mother Earth News plan, and it's made with cinder blocks. My brother made all the steel components for me, the door, the grate, everything. And I think it would be nice for the fall to be able to do a bunch of the canning outside so the house doesn't get so hot. So, and Rita and Bob said we could come and get some firewood from them. Another thing that's a lot of work, have to get done, but not having to buy firewood is just awesome, especially when you're talking about birch. So anyhow, I think that's going to be about it for today. I got to get some stuff done here. Not going to do any more mowing because I am too sore and too tired, but super happy once again with the DR string trimmer. Can't say enough about that thing. I'm going to have to get it into the shop sometime, probably at the end of the season, get that electric start fixed, because that is way too hard on an old woman. So anyway guys, thanks for joining us again. I hope you like the videos. Like and subscribe, share these with your friends and family, and hit that notification bell. And we'll see you next time.